Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Today, we've got a brand new story to share with you. So let's begin. We have been together for over 15 years, married for most of it. Together since high school. We are each other's first everything and we adore each other. To the world, we are the perfect couple. She is a high-power attorney and I am a doctor. I'm in my final year of residency. We went to different undergrads. We never had issues with infidelity. She is a very trusting and trustworthy person. I'm more dishonest, but compared to her, everyone is. There were a couple times when I got paranoid and I checked her phone. There have never been any hints of cheating. I told her so both times and she just rolled her eyes. I don't know if she's ever checked my phone, I doubt it, knowing her, but she certainly always could. I say all of this because I've read enough of these posts to know that's what y'all are going to wonder. I'm as confident as any spouse that neither of us has been unfaithful. She has always been a bit less physically affectionate than I am, even as a teenager. But when we were young, we did spend many days in bed all day together. She doesn't show much interest in other men at all, but the one celebrity crush, and I use that term lightly, she has could not look more like me. She does have a couple of medical problems that occasionally get in the way of sex, but at least half of our days, she's not having those issues. She does take a medication that is known to decrease libido a bit, SNRI, and she has a hormonal IUD. Of note, she has had those for almost as long as we have been together, so that is a possible source, but our sex life has been both good and bad without those things changing. We have been in marriage counseling for months. I think it's having no effect. I feel like she used to be into hamburgers, now she's not, and I'm trying to convince her to be into them again. I don't get the sense that she is weaponizing sex. I think she's being genuine. It just hurts me so much that I desire her in that way, and, based on empirical testing, she is completely happy in our relationship, in her own words, having no sex. By testing, I mean that I have tried quitting talking about sex at all and just continuing to be the best and most loving husband I can be. No change in her sexual desire. She didn't even notice. She says that she is attracted to me but does not feel the need to have sex. She does not really grasp what I mean when I say that sex helps create the emotional connection I have with her and that the deterioration of that bond is extremely painful. As you may have guessed from our professions, I am the empathetic one and she is the logical one. Maybe her one major character flaw is that she has essentially zero empathy. In that respect, I feel that I'm always having to convince her of how I feel, because if she doesn't feel that way, she is incapable of believing that someone else might. This manifests in little issues festering because when I say something is an issue, she doesn't really register or believe how I feel until I'm practically exploding about it. Based on our marriage counseling and even a little before, she has tried to bridge this gap between us. She has tried to initiate sex about once every 3 months. To be clear, I no longer feel comfortable initiating at all. The thought fills me with dread. When she tries to initiate, I feel guilty that I have coerced her into doing it. I have experienced her both when she is acting out of obligation and when she has genuine desire, and sometimes I do feel that genuine desire. Still, it is apparently difficult for me to become aroused even when she initiates because of all of this going on in my head. I guess I associate being aroused around her with being rejected now, and that kills my mood. Like a dog that gets hit every time he goes for the treat. Eventually, he stops going for it. I don't know if it's that simple, but that's how it feels to me. I definitely don't have a biologic reason for the ED. In fact, sometimes I still get hard during the day when I daydream like I'm 15. I also don't look at porn. I masturbate about once per day. She has gained a little weight, but I don't think any reasonable American would say she's so fat that she's unattractive. She's roughly 5 feet 5 inches and 150 pounds. I'm very in shape. Also, when ED happens, not every time, we still have a good time. I'm very focused on pleasing her, and I always make sure she gets there, even if I have to use a vibrator. I usually don't have to. If you think it matters, I am blessed with far above normal-sized anatomy, and my wife has always said she loves it. Occasionally, I can get a bit carried away. There have been times where it's difficult for her to walk after. But she hobbles around in the best of moods for a couple of hours and goes back to normal. I have never caused her serious harm or pain. It's been a few years since such an event, it's really neither negative nor frequent. She does have an anal fantasy, which I would be okay with, but when we have tried, she says it's too much and we just end up having vaginal sex? I think we could make it work, but it would require her to do some prep work that her constitution just wouldn't allow. After all of these years, her smile is still my favorite thing in the world. She still wants to hear me talk about my niche interests, even when she doesn't understand them. She's a truly good person. I wouldn't call her kind, but she is good to me. We both want this to work so badly. We both came from nothing, both were the first of our poor families to graduate college, much less professional school. We game together, fighting for liberty these days, and we spend just about every second outside of work together. I take her on dates at least once per week, real dates, like new restaurants, arcades, hiking, etc. Fun dates. We both love spending that time together. I never pressure her for sex after, because I don't feel right about going for it after she's been drinking. There has never been any kind of abuse in either direction. She's the love of my life, and I know I'd never find another girl who checks all of the boxes she does. Never nags. Always ready to leave on time. She's my mom's best friend. Together since we were kids. I could go on and on. She has said that she thinks what I want sex about once a week is reasonable but does not think that she can achieve that. I hate that I think about things this way, but this is how that sounds to me. What is the minimum frequency I could have sex with you so that you won't leave me? I'll try to do that, but it sounds hard and probably won't happen. I have asked myself cynically, why is this really something worth ruining your marriage over? I can't help but feel like asking that same question to her, though I know that's unfair because she's not doing it on purpose and she is trying her best to meet me halfway. I truly appreciate her efforts. It means the world that she is trying, and I make sure she knows that. There are a couple of other elephants in the room. I do want kids. I have said that I do in the past, and she'll say that she does. Then I say that I don't, because everyone has told me the sex issue gets worse after kids, and she'll say that she doesn't. I think she could be happy either way. But if we can't fix this, maybe it's best to not have kids? Not only because it would make the issue worse, but also because if kids made our bedroom problems a lot worse and we split up, we'd subject the poor kid to a broken home like her and I went through. The other elephant in the room is the timing. Like I said, I'm at the end of my residency. Right now, we make about the same amount. Next year, I'll make roughly 14 times this amount. She loves her job but has considered staying home or working part-time starting next year. Before the red pillars jump on that, know that I have always wanted to win the bread for her. I would love to be able to support her and let her live a carefree life. But it's not lost on me that if things continue as they are and we break up in 2 years after she's been staying at home, I'd probably pay alimony or some shite, how that works, tbh. I know this issue is common in marriages. It makes me admire the men and women who have managed to work through it. I know a second wife and I would probably arrive at the same issues at some point, so that's not really a solution. I know a Reddit comment can't solve the issue. Sometimes I just feel so unreasonable. Why can't I just be happy like she is? I've considered going on androgen deprivation therapy to kill my libido. She hates that idea, by the way. If we were 60, I think this would be pretty tolerable. But we're not 60. And I'm not happy. And it's not tolerable. We've spoken about it at length. She can't muster the willpower to initiate more than once every 2 to 3 months, and usually it's not genuine. I feel terrible about it. I guess I really just wanted to put it all into words, get it off my chest, and feel a little less alone. Reddit is probably not the place for that, but I've already tried everything else. What else can we do about this? Tell me if I'm just being an asshole. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this. See you next time.